All right, Daily Ticker time on a Friday to kick off hour number 3. Brought to you as always by our great friends at Pelican Brewing. Catch the surf action and good vibes at the 26th Annual Cape Kiwanda Longboard Classic, proudly presented by Pelican Brewing. It's the largest annual surfing event in the PNW, September 19th through the 21st. Kick out the weekend on Friday night with live music, and all weekend long enjoy award-winning craft beer from Pelican at their original location in Pacific City.
Holy catfish!
Oklahoma State comes to town this weekend, and I remember doing an interview a little over a year ago for the preseason Dirty Poll. Oklahoma State going into the year was a top 25 team. That did not age well for me. But we had a man on who said, hey, we'll preview Oklahoma State this year, but guess what, guys? I'm excited to make a trip out to Autzen Stadium next year. That's how fast time goes, because here we are. They're in town this weekend, and joining us now is friend of the program and Oklahoma State sideline reporter Robert Allen. You can give him a follow on Twitter at @RAllen. Go Pokes. Robert, good morning to you. How excited are we that Oregon-Oklahoma State weekend is here?
You know what? When this series was signed, I was probably a tad bit more, excited because both programs were streaming down the road and looking to become blue bloods in college football. And lo and behold, look what Oregon's done. I think they're fully vested in the blue blood of college football. And Oklahoma State got very close. I mean, probably on the edge of it when they beat Notre Dame a couple of years ago in the Fiesta Bowl. And last year didn't do anything the next year to hurt themselves. Won 10 games, beat A&M in a bowl game, but last year was a disaster. You mentioned it. It didn't. That prediction or the thoughts on what that Oklahoma State was going to do did not wear for me well either.
And, Robert, we talked a little bit about this game this week, but I think the comments that Gundy, and you can correct if there's like context that a lot of people missed on the comments about the whole NIL and the scheduling with financial, similarities. Lanning was told this, and he basically popped his in, and he had a look like, I'm going to drop 60 on this man and have no forgiveness at all. We tend to think this game might not be close, and part of that is talent, but also Lanning takes things very personal. What are we missing, if anything, from the Gundy comments, and what did you just make of him coming out and saying that after playing UT Martin?
Well, remember, I work for a fan website, Pokes Report, as well as doing my radio show back in Stillwater and across Oklahoma, and then also on the Cowboy Network. So I'm well versed. Now I'm older. I mean, I'll truth be known here, I'm 65 years old. I came up in old school journalism, worked in television for a legend, Bob Berry, and another legend, Vern Lundquist, and so I was steeped in journalistic integrity. We live in a different day and age.
Yeah.
Social media puts the pressure on regular media. Regular media drops more to their level than they rise to the regular media level, and everybody's looking for the controversial comment.
Yeah.
That comment that Mike Gundy initially made was, what do you think of Oregon? And most of it was, man, they're a damn good football team, blah, blah, blah. But he snuck in, too, that they spend a lot of money on their roster. And I didn't see Dan Lanning deny, the comment. And Mike went deeper on his coach's show that night because the guy I work with, Dave Hunziker, asked him about it. And the next day at practice, Dave goes, man, I apologize. I didn't know that stuff was going to, become poison. Right. But that's what the media looks for. Let me tell you something. Dan Lanning and Mike Gundy went on Phil Knight's Nike trip 3 years ago. And because I talked to Mike all the time, when he came home, he goes, man, got to hang with Mac Brown, who's a good friend of his. Got to hang with Kirby Smart, find out more about him. And Mike's got a good friendship with Nick Saban. So Kirby's in that Nick Saban family. And then he said, this Dan Lanning, this guy's a hell of a coach. He goes, and a fun guy. We spent some time together around the pool. And, he's got a program at Oregon that's going great. So Mike, they know each other. And in fact, Mike told me at practice the other day, he goes, I think we'll have a good laugh about this at the 50-yard line.
Sure.
Mike went on serious yesterday and it's a shame there's been more crap talked about with this than the actual game.
Yeah.
Because this is a damn good Oregon team. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Kenyon Sadiq, Amori Washington. I'm still working on the pronunciation of their jack, their edge rusher, 44. That's one heck of
Tatum
a player.
Tuioti.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you've got the walk-on from Eugene that plays right field on the baseball team.
Yep.
In Betcher. I mean, this is a damn good team. But we've spent time talking about things we already know about. Oregon spends a lot of money. Phil Knight's vested well in it. Great. OSU had a lot of money to spend when Boone Pickens was alive, and that was the facility era. So OSU's got great facilities. Now OSU's trying to help, get their donors around on the NIL, because NIL is not going away. Revenue share was supposed to fix it, and see, here I am talking about it, and I really don't want to talk about the crap, guys.
All right, we'll stop.
To be fair,
that's what the media does. I'm going to throw this down at my brethren. Looking just for the controversial quote is starting to piss me off. Yeah. So
it is.
I want to talk football. Oklahoma State's up against it, but I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
The misconception out there is that Haas Haney was the starting quarterback. He took the first snaps. He and Zane Flores were neck and neck, and in fact, 2 days before the game with UT Martin, I think most people would have said they thought Zane would start. Mm-hmm. Zane's a good quarterback. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. This kid did he's the greatest quarterback to come out of Nebraska ever, high school wise. He's had some injuries. Foot injury last year shelved him. He got the appeal pass from the NCAA. So even though he's been at OSU 3 years, he's a redshirt freshman. The defense, much better. Not a little bit. Much better than last year. And I do believe that Wendell Gregory and the stuff that came out on him, which there'll be more that will come out that will – stealing's wrong, but the kid was kind of up against it. Gundy's going to play him. So I think this game, I don't think Oklahoma State wins. I think Oregon wins. But if Dan Lanning wants to hang 60, 50, 70, whatever he plans on hanging, I'm pretty sure he won't get that.
Interesting. Yeah, we're talking with Robert Allen, sideline reporter for Oklahoma State football, also pokesreport.com. You can give him a follow on Twitter, at @rallen. Go Pokes. I'm glad you brought up the quarterback point, because I know that has been a conversation. I remember going into the year, the report that they were going to kind of split snaps right out of the gate, and then all of a sudden it's turned into he's the backup quarterback. It is a good reminder for everybody that he was right there neck and neck in the battle. What did we make of their ability to run the football in week one? That was something that just stood out to me going back and watching the game, getting ready for this week. Not great. The yard per carry wasn't great. I did think Flores played fine in his duty when he came in. What was there with the running game that maybe wasn't where they wanted it to be? Is it just the balance of the offense? I'm curious your read on what the identity of this offense will look like this weekend.
Well, and I'm not saying anything the Oregon coaches don't know, but they ran inside outside zone the entire, and then when Flores came in after they found out about the injury to Haney, they told Flores not to carry it, not to keep it. So if you watch on tape, dang, he should have kept that. That's a zone. He could have gone a long way. And I don't think they'll take the safeguards off for Saturday. They'll pray he doesn't get hurt, because if you get past Flores, you've got a true freshman in Banks Bowen. And I think the third quarterback on the trip is Sam Jackson, who played at Cal as a quarterback before transferring to Auburn, becoming a wide receiver. But no, Flores is a guy who can run. He's a 4.6 guy in the 40, so Haney's a 4.4 guy. There's a difference. But Flores has the bigger arm, and, you're going to have to go downfield. And as far as the run game, because I'm going to get to your answer to your question, they were very simple. I do think the offensive line didn't play up to what I expected them to, and that was pushed on them this week. So between play calling and some motivation with the offensive line, which I think is going to be not a great, but I think they can be a solid offensive line. They're going against kind of a Hall of Fame defensive front, so this is a big ask. But I think they'll be better. The carry per carry average could be the same, guys, as it was against UT Martin, and I would say they got better.
Yeah,
because the competition's significantly better.
Yeah.
Landing multiple times this week, Robert has talked about the tempo and how Oklahoma State's tempo is something they haven't faced in some time. Just like how big of a shift maybe is that for Gundy? Is this like a quicker team than he's ever coached before? And just is that something that you think ultimately might give them a slight advantage to maybe hang around in this game more than people think?
It could. I think the biggest thing is they need to average 2 first downs a possession. That'll take care of field position, and it could take care of not letting Oregon own the football and trying to wear out your defense. That would be my ask of the offense, average 2 first downs. Tempo, yeah, they'll go tempo. And, Mike Gundy and Mike Yursich, when he was his OC, they invented tempo and turbo in the modern era. And yeah, Oklahoma State uses it a lot. It is fast. It's so fast that when they go into that mode, Dave Hunziker takes a deep breath to call that drive, and John Holcomb, who's on color, and myself realize we can take the possession off because we're not going to get a chance to talk. So that's it. They can average as close to 8 seconds between the end of the play and snapping the next play. That's their fastest, about 8 seconds.
What level of Oklahoma State fan travel are we expected to see this weekend? A lot of Cowboys coming out?
Yeah, I flew commercial because I've got my wife, grandson, and my daughter-in-law, and the plane, connection from Vegas here was full of Oklahoma State fans and a few folks in green, going home for an Oregon game. We're at the Graduate in Eugene, and the Board of Regents from Oklahoma State and donors. They're here. They're going on a tour today of Nike, and they're going to a winery. So have they made a vacation? A lot of people have made a vacation out of this trip. And I love Oregon. We came up here a few years ago and stayed in Eugene when they played Oregon State and Corvallis. And I think this play, you guys are a lot drier than the last time I was here.
Depends on the time of year you get
here.
Yeah, well.
Gee, you guys look like your landscape looks closer to Oklahoma with all the brown grass.
It's forest fire season right now, Robert. We got to be careful here. We need that rain to hit.
No fireworks this weekend.
Last one for you. I apologize if you said it. Is the kid that got arrested, do you expect him to play? And then also you'd kind of said he it's not good to steal, but he's up against it. I would just what that kind of means, I guess.
Yeah, in this day and age, kids are moving between schools, and some have agents that work like NFL agents, which those guys front their clients' money. They take care of them. Some don't. I think he got caught in a bind in May when he came early to Stillwater to try and learn the defense. And if you saw the items that were involved and that he's, as soon as he got, money in the revenue share, which started July 1, I was told he made restitution. This happened in May, and the reason he got pulled in, it was a traffic stop, and that came up. Those charges were still pending there. And again, I don't really want to get that deep in the woods on Wendell. Sure. He's a good kid. I've met him. But again, I'm 65 years old, so the first thing I'm going to say, it's not right to steal. You don't steal.
Right.
So I think things will be worked out and have been worked out internally, but I do expect Wendell to play.
Okay.
Well, we're excited, man. It's going to be fun. I think your point is pretty accurate that those comments back and forth between coaches has kind of stolen the headlines.
We woke you up, though. We fired you up a little bit.
We got him going a little bit. He's ready. He's ready for kickoff, man.
It's the day before game. My wife will tell you I get pretty fired up anyway. So,
Well, hopefully we can get some sleep tonight. Enjoy the time in the beautiful state of Oregon. The weather should be perfect this weekend. The atmosphere should be great tomorrow. Robert Allen, sideline reporter. If you're going down to the game, holler at him when he's on the sideline. You'll see him walking around down there. Say what's up. PokesReport.com as well. At @RAllen. Go Pokes. We always appreciate the time, man. Enjoy the game, and hey, let's do this again soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Good luck.
There you go. Robert Allen of Oklahoma State.
Thanks.
Good luck. Good luck this weekend, buddy.
Suit up.
I'm ready to go, dude. I'm not going to throw any picks this weekend.
I got to be honest. We had other things, but when he said the whole he's up against it, I was like, I'm going to circle back on that one.
Yeah, that's one.
I get what he's saying now.
I didn't see the list of things, but I'm assuming if the list of things was released, it was probably groceries and
It sounds like he
body wash and
thought
soap.
maybe things were taken care of, and
they weren't.
Yeah,
and he didn't have any money on hand, and he's trying to be there on campus, and so I didn't see the full details behind it. I just saw you got arrested, and I didn't know all the story.
I got arrested in Corvallis for a similar situation, not larceny, but I had not responded to a insurance driver's license mail item that I had gotten in the summer from an address I'd moved from.
Ooh.
So when I went to pick up the wife the following school year, I got pulled over at like 1 a.m. They said I didn't completely stop at a stop or a stop sign, which was not true.
Yeah, right.
And
those Corvallis
10 minutes
cops.
later, my license was suspended. I had no idea. I was arrested in the grass, and they searched my car for 30 minutes and then left me in the pouring rain.
They just left you there? Did they uncuff you at least?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Okay,
obviously, there was nothing. They were pulling out. What is this? I'm like, it's a weight from a weighted vest. What do you think that is?
You never know.
7 cops.
I don't know what you're
1
doing.
a.m.
You had earrings on. I don't know if I trust you.
I did. I had
1
cubic
a.m.
zirconiums.
You got earrings in. I'm pulling you over. If
I had
this
a
sm-
DGK shirt on, Dirty Ghetto Kids. I didn't
Yeah.
look great.
This
but-
smells fishy. This guy's got drugs in his car. Search it. Get the dogs.
So I understand. Like sometimes things happen. You have
Not
no
a
idea it's
lot
out there.
And for the Corvallis Police Department to do off campus usually.
They don't have the great. Well, they didn't.
They don't have a great reputation.
Yeah, the
No.
reputation of Corvallis isn't great.
No.
And I was like, add me to the list of complaints.
Yep.
Pouring down rain, monsoon, 1 a.m. Here we
Well,
are.
he doesn't think they can hang 50 or 60 on him, which, that's a pretty, I don't know if we need to go that far.
Well,
But
the
like, we're going to win
friendship-
60 to nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not quite not in that camp.
But is it a 45-20 game?
Yeah, I mean, that's covering
45-17?
I guess I wouldn't be covering the spread. It's more about, do they cover the spread? I mean, 28, do they win by 30?
He's probably. I mean, look, he's giving us more context to something that got clipped and sent everywhere. He's probably right. They're going to laugh about it at the 50.
Yeah.
Lanning's team is more talented. They'll win going away, and they'll shake hands and hug at midfield, and there will be nothing of it.
This is the, it doesn't really matter if it's real or perceived. Slights are slights, and guys who use chip on the shoulders use chip on the shoulders. Like Jordan did this with guys who didn't even actually say anything. Who was the player that he made up the quote
It was
about?
a Bullets player back in the day, and he's
like,
like, I never said that.
I never said that, man. Why are you looking at me like that? I never said that about you. Please don't drop 60 on me. Like, it doesn't have to be a real slight. I
Well,
think
and you
he's
don't
gonna
think
use it to his advantage.
Lanning respects Dion. He idolized him as
Right.
a kid.
Right, watching the Cowboys when he was younger.
But you talk with your helmet.
And they talked with their helmets that day.
Yeah, like piss and blood.
Tomorrow, 12:30, right here on The Fan. Pregame will start at 8 a.m. I got an early morning. Driving down to
Ooh.
Eugene.
It'd be a nice drive down. Nice
That'll be fun. It should be-
sunrise.
I'll beat traffic. That's nice because the games are on at the same time. So that'll help a little bit. And then I'll be home by kickoff. It'd be great. Catch a surf action and the good vibes at the 26th Annual Cape Kiwanis Longboard Classic, proudly presented by Pelican Brewing. This is the largest annual surfing event in the PNW, September 19th through the 21st. Kick out the weekend Friday night with live music. All weekend long, enjoy award-winning craft beer from Pelican at their original location in Pacific City.